Minister Gilbeault, you lost a court case to me, and the judge ordered you to pay $20,000, but instead of paying it yourself, you had taxpayers pay for it. Why? Minister Gilbeault, the court ordered you to pay me $20,000, but you foisted that on taxpayers instead. You illegally blocked me on Twitter. You fought for 2 years. You used $250,000 in taxpayers' money, and then you stiffed the taxpayer and foisted the bill on them. Why did you do that?
This is the greatest video ever.
Why don't you think you have to answer for $20,000 of legal bills that you sent to the taxpayer to pay your fine?
Because you're a pleb, and the government does not respond to plebs, Ezra.
Why aren't you talking about it? You had a lot to say in court. You claimed that your Twitter account was a personal account. If that's the case, why didn't you pay the fine personally?
Look at that scumbag's face, and I'm talking about Stephen Gilbeault.
Do you disrespect taxpayers, Mr. Gilbeault? Sure seems that way. Hey, you're on the board of a Chinese agency, a Chinese government agency for the environment.
Well, when you didn't answer the first question...
How is that not a conflict of interest, given that you're in the Canadian cabinet?
You know he's going to answer this one, Ezra, given his propensity to answering questions.
Is that why you never criticize China, the world's largest producer of plastic? Why are your staff pulling at me? Why are they assaulting me, sir?
Okay, I'm not going to play the whole thing.
Why don't you ever criticize China? Have you received help from China in your political campaigns too?
I'm going to put it on pause here. There's going to be the cheap joke that Ezra is out of breath just by walking. I think I know Ezra well enough to know that that's like when you get excited, people, like you start catching a fish and you're like, oh, just to pull a Rogan there. This is like the excitement of, oh my goodness, I ran into Stephen Gilbeault on the street. And anyone who thinks it's easy to walk, focus, talk, carry a camera at the same time, holy hell, Ezra sounds like he just caught lightning in a bottle. And this is manna from the heavens. Stephen Gilbeault, he's got, and I'm talking about Stephen Gilbeault here, he's got the face of a commie. I know I've been using that word a lot these days. He's got the face of a convicted criminal. But look at his face. Let me see if I can get here. And bear in mind, or at least try to think of how closely it resembles Jack Smith's face. I'm going to do a side-by-side actually after this. Look at that face. Look at that face right there. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, that is the face of a criminal. Oh, let me screen grab this. I'm going to screen grab that, and I'm going to go do a side-by-side with Jack Smith. This man has dirty stuff on his computer. That much, no confession through projection. I just look at this guy, and this guy, if I had to guess that he was a pervert, I would guess that this man's a pervert. Yes, hashtag confession through projection. Viva's admitting he's a pervert. Thanks, but he's a pervert.
China refuses to sign the anti-plastics treaty. Why are you forcing that on Canadians?
To please his Chinese overlords, period. Look at that face. Oh my God. Ezra, if you say Stephen Gilbeault 3 times in the mirror in the middle of the night at 3 a.m., he'll appear behind you, and that will be what you see over your shoulder.
What does that mean, the registry, Mr. Gilbeault? What do you mean by it? What is the cost that...
Okay, we're going to stop it there. I'm going to give everybody a link to that tweet. Share it far and wide. Look, there's very few things. I won't say there's very few things. Not everything on the internet makes me happy to watch. Watching Stephen Gilbeault get humiliated like the disgusting criminal that he is. And by the way, he is a convicted criminal, or he pled guilty to, whatever it was. That type of activist interference. There's a word for it. Not mischief. Whatever. How come he doesn't answer any questions? He is accountable to the people of Canada. For those of you who don't know the backstory to that, it's wild and it's amazing. And for those who, accuse Ezra and Rebel Media of looking for trouble, well, sometimes you got to look for trouble. Ezra got blocked by Stephen Gilbeault on Twitter. Most people would say, all right, that man's a piece of scum, Stephen Gilbeault, and good riddance to bad rubbish. Others would say, I'm going to sue you because you're not allowed doing that as a member of government up in Canada. He sued Stephen Gilbeault. Stephen Gilbeault's defense. Stephen Gilbeault, oh my goodness. He's the former Minister of Heritage. He's the idiot that sits there trying to explain away why the original Online Streaming Act contained an exception specifying that it would not apply to individual user accounts. Then the liberal scoundrels in the middle of the night eliminated that exclusion and then said, don't worry, it's not going to apply to individual user accounts. And they said, well, why did you remove the exception that specifies that? And he was, blah, 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 blah. And then lo and behold, it's going to apply to individual user accounts if they're big enough and act like a broadcaster. That's Stephen Gilbeault. Gilbeault blocks him, and then Ezra sues him. Gilbeault's defense was, it's my personal account. It wasn't, it's my first day. It was, it's my personal account and I can block you personally. And the court said no. And from what I understand, following it, not meticulously, I wasn't in court live streaming it. He says, you have to unblock him and you have to pay $20,000 in court costs, I believe. Or maybe it was legal fees, something along those lines. I just got a call from somebody who I'll take it later. If you're watching, by the way, I can't talk right now. I'm live. I'll call you back in a bit. So he got ordered to pay $20,000 to reimburse. It was either legal fees or court costs, maybe a bit of both. I forget. Doesn't really matter. And what does Stephen Gilbeault do? Stephen Gilbeault, whose defense was, it's my private account, and the government's answer was, no, it's not. You have to unblock him. He paid for the $20,000 in court costs, legal fees, whatever it was, with taxpayer dollars. Now, to steelman Stephen Gilbeault, he's going to say, well, I guess I made a mistake. It wasn't my personal account. It was a government account. Therefore, the taxpayers have to pay this. After he dragged it through court, from what Ezra says, for a couple of years. The scumbag scoundrel, POS, and yes, I'm not going to say the swears yet because it's still early, but I'm going to use the acronyms. That scumbag POS wasted taxpayer dollars contesting Ezra Levant's lawsuit. In the same way, Strapped for Cash, CBC state-funded propaganda dragged, the Conservative Party through court claiming copyright infringement. They're so strapped for cash, they drag them through the court system claiming a frivolous copyright claim. Stephen Gilbeault drags Ezra through court using taxpayer dollars, tax-paid lawyers to assert a bullshit defense. I just did it. Damn it. I'm sorry. A bullplop defense, a grade A bullplop defense, then gets ordered to pay court costs or legal fees and pays it out of taxpayer dollars. Scoundrels. Scoundrels of the highest order. And then that raging authoritarian just sits there and walks the streets because he doesn't have to answer the questions of independent media. He'll only ask the softball questions of the CBC. This didn't happen, so don't anyone say like Viva said parody and didn't say parody. Parody people. CBC would go ask him, how did it feel when you lost your court case, Stephen Gilbeault? Oh, it was very hard. I genuinely thought I was able to block him because it was my personal account, but I made a mistake, and so that's it. The government should pay for it. The taxpayer dollars should pay for it. Scoundrels, scum of the earth. Did I share that link? Link. Come on, fat fingers. Let's do this. Link to tweet. Go share it far and wide because it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. When Ezra catches his targets, political targets in public, he did it in the WEF at Davos. It was glorious. And then you had Alexa Lavoie in the end there. You can go watch the full video to check it out. But share and share. It's beautiful. Good afternoon, everybody. You go to bed at night and you're like, oh, crap. What are we going to have to talk about between yesterday and today? Then the world happens. Then you see, speaking of scoundrel buffoons, traitorous scoundrels in government, then you see, what was it, Congress or the Senate? I forget the House waving Ukrainian flags after they just agreed to ship another $60 billion to Ukraine. They're so happy to provide support to foreign countries, foreign citizens, while their own citizens die of overdoses at record rates, take their own lives in terms of veterans at record rates. Cities are unlivable. Illegal immigrant crisis in America. They're happy to ship tens of billions of dollars off to foreign countries for the amount of money that gets laundered, lost, misappropriated through corruption. They could solve Lahaina. They could solve East Palestine. They could resolve gun violence in schools by hiring armed guards out of every public school that doesn't already have an armed guard. But no, they're a bunch of virtue signaling, scoundrelous POSs who prefer to ship tens of, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's going to be in the show today. So we're talking about the aid package, the TikTok thingy thing that's going through. We're going to talk about the Trump contempt, the Trump trial. Judge Marchand issued an order. What else do I have in the backdrop here? I should take notes. Oh no, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Oh, censorship out of Australia. We're going to have a lot of fun stuff. For those of you who are not familiar, we're going to do another one of our locals supporter chats at about, give or take, 2:30-ish. That is in our locals community, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. We've got 120,000 members. Those are non-supporting, just people who are part of the community. You could join that for absolutely no cost. Just come to the community, vivabarneslaw.locals.com. For those who choose to support, we have this perk that we do on the channel. It's a one-on-one discussion. It's like an interview. It has yet to get adversarial, but I have no doubt one day it'll get adversarial, or at least ideologically confrontational. We're doing one today, another one today. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be exclusive on the Locals After Party. If you don't know who I am, and you just say, how did I stumble across this Raging Lunatics channel? I am Viva Frei, David Freiheit, former Montreal litigator, turned current Florida Rumbler. Plugging away with the car vlogs. Plugging away with the car vlogs because people like the shorter format. I feel that there might be some sort of inorganic, algorithmic suppression when your own videos are not getting showed to your own subscribers on CommuTube, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to continue doing it anyhow. The more they chicane, the harder I'm going to work. We start off on YouTube, Rumble, and vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And then what we do, because we vote with our feet, we vote with our eyeballs, we vote with our dollar, we leave the CommuTube platform and we go to Rumble. And then we have the rest of the stream on Rumble. Then we end on Rumble and have the exclusive after party at Locals. And then I put up either the entire stream or clips on YouTube the day after. So it's not a question of doing that, which we're not allowed to do on YouTube on other platforms. I'm a good boy, as my grandmother used to say. It's a question of favoring the platforms that favor free speech, because the war on free speech is... It's getting jacked up on steroids. I mean, it's making the old drug Olympics look like child's play to the level of the censorship that they're trying to bring. That's going to be the first story because it's a funny one. And I screwed up with the meme that I wanted to do, but whatever. I'm going to make fun of myself while I do that. Before we even get there, those are the rules of the game. The link to the Rumble is in the pinned comment. And if you just are so inclined to go start it over there right now, go do it. No legal advice, no medical advice, no election fortification advice. We have these things called super chats, Rumble rants. I do my best to read them all. If you're going to be upset if I don't read them, don't give them. I don't want people feeling upset. Okay. You may have noticed when you came into the stream. I'm just going to go down because I'm totally neurotic, OCD, like it's nobody's business. Yes, I did check the box off. It said this stream contains a paid promotion. Because it does, I love all of my sponsors. And I drink the coffee. In this particular case, the sponsor is 1775 Coffee. Stop drinking woke coffee. Are you a sleepy Joe who has zero cognitive performance? I love this. Scared of walking upstairs without being worried that you're going to fall down? Do you struggle to muster focus and brain power to do basic things, like say words? You need to stop drinking woke liberal coffee and start your day by drinking Rumble's own 1775 Coffee. Never mind that it will be the best tasting coffee you've ever had. It's strong. So if you like that soft tea water that your mama made, don't drink 1775 Coffee. It's good, robust, rich, flavorful, and it doesn't taste like that burnt Starbucks crap. It's delicious. If you're tired of that, come on over. It's locally sourced family farm at Altitude Mountains in Bolivia. So instead of waking up tomorrow and drinking your mold-infested, corporate-owned, woke ideology coffee that's probably making you sick from pesticides it's sprayed it with, try 1775 Coffee. Support freedom of speech. Support the freedom parallel economy that really is trying to save humanity from itself. 1775coffee.com. 1775coffee.com/Viva. Promo code Viva. You'll get 10% off your first order. The link is in the description. You all know I take my coffee like I take. I was going to make my mother's joke. Like I take my men strong, but I take my coffee like I come, short and strong, robust and strong. 1775 coffee /Viva. Links in the pinned comment in the description. You know what it is. You know the thing with the thing. Okay. Speaking of the parallel economy, censorship, the war on words, you see videos, and I say this often because we're living in a world where it's becoming more and more common. You see a video and you say, That's I have to make sure that that's a real video. And I'm actually just going very slowly here because I can't seem to find the video. Here it is. You see a video and you say like, holy crap, that's hilarious. That has to be fake. We knew that Australia was bad. Apparently they got a new PM. His name is, I'll get his name in a second. This is the video. Very grainy, just to explain why I picked the wrong photograph to make my crappy memes. But the memes are great in theory. They're just, I cannot deliver in technique. Listen to this video and understand what the Prime Minister of Australia is actually saying right here. Spoiler alert, he is taking credit, praising, lauding the fact that he had memes taken off the internet. Listen.
Platforms.
So I still love the accent. No matter how fascistic and tyrannical it gets, I will always love the Australian accent. I don't know if that's South African. Whatever.
Platforms have a responsibility to make sure that misinformation isn't got out there. I noticed today, for example, on the way up here, they've removed various sites that were up containing fake images of myself.
Fake images of myself.
Superimposed on other people. That's the sort of thing that is going on social media.
I'm going to stop there because something's driving me crazy. Why the heck do I have this screen in screen? Hold on one second. No. Did they change something on StreamYard? That's what I want. Okay, I want that view. I don't want to see my face while I'm watching videos. Here.
Social media has a responsibility to do the right thing here.
Do the right thing here. Do the right thing. Let me just do a play-by-play here. I might
containing fake images of. They've removed various sites.
Various sites
that were up.
I'm going to translate the accent for us Americans. Us North Americans.
Containing fake images of myself.
Fake images of myself. They've removed websites containing fake images of myself. Were these like extortionists? Here's your face on somebody who's doing something bad and we want money and people are going to think this is real? No.
Superimposed on other people. That's the sort of thing that is going on social media.
Huh? Fake images of a face put on somebody else is going on. You mean a meme? You tyrant? You mean you had websites take down memes of you?
Social media has a responsibility to do the right thing here.
Social media has the responsibility to do the right thing here. You can't make fun of your dictator or your dictator because that would be problematic, eh? To which I just bloody well had to do this. I did it with the former guy first. Such an idiot. This, I think it's a pretty good meme. I mean, this one came out well. I am once again asking you to delete memes of me from the internet. That's the Bernie Sanders, for those of you who don't know. What's his name? Albanese. Anthony Albanese. Was it Albania, a communist country at one point? Maybe Nomen S. Omen. All right, so that was my one attempt. There was that one. And then I'll do that. I had a second one. It's not the best, but if they want to take down memes off the internet, they come at Elon Musk and say, hey, Elon, take down that bloody tweet that Viva put up of me and Bernie Sanders. It's bloody embarrassing, Ace. But then if Elon doesn't do it, what happens then? Hold on, I'll tell you what happens if Elon doesn't take down the tweet, because I made a meme for that one too. Not as good as the first one, but here we go. Yeah, it's actually terrible, but hold on, I'm going to show you anyhow just to show off my hard work, wasted time. And this is what I do. Then they get up in the morning and then I make a stupid meme and it takes way too long. It's not well done. The idea is perfect, but the execution is terrible. Here. This is what happens when you don't take down. When Australian PM demands a meme deletion and Elon Musk says GFYS, that means go flip yourself. And it's supposed to be the screaming Trump lady, but yeah, so, okay, lame. But that's what's going on, people, by the way. And Chris Pavlovsky has been tweeting about it. The unbridled, is that the word? Relentless, ramped up war on free speech coming out of Australia, New Zealand, France, Brazil. Do people not understand that this is not even the slow walk towards communism. And I'm using the word loosely. I got a funny anecdote afterwards. It's the slow walk towards absolute statism, authoritarianism, tyranny, fascism, whatever you want to call it. The absence of freedom. You can't make memes of the I'm your prime minister. You got to come to me for your truth. What was it? Jacinda Ardern, the New Zealand PM, who literally had her soul sucked out of her body with all of the evil that she imposed on the world. They say, you want your information, you get it from the government. When has the government ever been the source of truth? When in the history of humankind has the government ever been the source of truth, let alone the only arbiter of truth? I mean, it's like Orwell. It wasn't prescient. It wasn't predictive. It was a summary of the past. 1984. He wasn't predicting the future. He was synthesizing the history of humankind in a way that made it timeless. Whoa. Okay, so there's that. Now, what I wanted to do, UK, love you, Tommy Robinson. I'm looking in here in the Rumble side. I'm going to tell everybody now, and I'll talk about it in further detail. I'm going to be on Jenna Ellis's show tonight with a gentleman named Robert Patillo. And I'll just tell the anecdote now because everybody should go watch it. It's going to, even if you have your political issues with Jenna Ellis, suck it up and go watch it because I'm on it and it's hilarious. I didn't know there was going to be a panelist, and I didn't know it was going to be Robert Patillo, who, if one were to say, there are two sides of the political ideological spectrum, I would be on one and Robert Patillo would be on the other. And I was not mincing words. It was fun, and I give Robert Patillo credit for actually going on Jenna Ellis to discuss the Trump trial, the gag order, all this stuff, and what was the other one? And the immunity case that's coming up before the Supreme Court tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that today, but go watch. Don't be a baby Bigfoot. Go watch it today. I don't have the link yet, I don't think. Let me see here. Maybe I do have the link. Drops tonight at 9 p.m. All right, well, I don't know where are we supposed to find it? How do I share the link so people know where to go? ? Watch it. It's funny and you'll like it. Okay. All right. 22 minutes in. Do we do one story here? Let me see what we got in the back. We'll do one short story before we go over to talk about the Trump gag order, a ruling from Judge Marchand quashing a subpoena. Not the end of the world, but it's definitely worth noticing. Let's do this one here because apparently they're not proud of waving Ukrainian flags in the House. I don't know if it's the Senate or Congress. I don't know what the word is for that, but let's say the House, because I'm a dumb Canuck and I don't know what I get mixed up on the American terms. It sure as hell is not the Parliament. These Congress people, congressmen and women, are out there waving their Ukrainian flags after passing a bill that is a four-pronged bill: money to Israel, money to Gaza, money to Taiwan, money to Ukraine, and the TikTok, what's the word? When you dispose of your assets, but you know what I'm saying. And apparently they don't want the video that Rep. Massey took. They don't want that going viral for some reason. Apparently they threatened Rep. Massey for having filmed a 7-second video in the House, whatever that place is. Here, this is it right here. Yeah, hold on, don't look at it yet. We're going to get there in a second. So this is from Dinesh D'Souza, and don't watch the video yet. And he says the House. Okay, so is the House? Thank you. Okay, the House is threatening to fine Representative Thomas Massey for posting this video. So I'm reposting it here. Please share widely as a gesture of defiance against these small-minded fools who despise getting exposed for their America Last policies. Well, Dinesh D'Souza, I'm going to have to fact check you on that. We don't know if it's America Last, but we certainly know that it's not America First. Right now, it looks like Ukraine first. Maybe, no, I won't even say tied up there with Israel. It'll be Ukraine first, Israel second, then like helping the victims of the war that they are financing by providing military aid to Israel. Then it's Gaza third, then Taiwan fourth. So it's not America Last. It's just, at the very least, fact check, America fifth. Maybe last, but we don't know that for certain. We can't make that statement. It's definitely not America First, and it sounds like it's America Fifth for now. Let me try to think here. What else is there? What other country are they favoring? Can't think of one for now. This is the video. Hold on. I got to see something. Okay, right there. Okay, I might be seeing something. Okay, no, that flag is not at the front. There's an American flag in the middle for now. What is that yellow thing above it? I mean, that I thought maybe was part of a Ukraine. Look at all these people in the gallery. So they don't want you seeing that video. To which I had to reply. I mean, why wouldn't they? Are they not proud of this? Were there not people posting the image to show that this shows America's support for Ukraine? $60 billion more to Ukraine. And don't worry, it's not like it's okay. And it's, for all the bad things that we say, at the risk of being called a Putin shill, I will give Zelensky credit where Zelensky deserves credit. He's thanked the American taxpayers. He's very polite after he comes and gets another $60 billion from America. He tweets, "I am grateful to the United States Senate for approving vital aid to Ukraine today. I think Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Republican leader Mitch McConnell, I thank them for their strong leadership in advancing this bipartisan legislation." This is how you know you've sort of are potentially on the way to losing your country, when it's bipartisan, America fifth or later. As well as the U.S. senators on both sides of the aisle who voted in favor of it. The vote reinforces America's role as a beacon of democracy by shipping billions of dollars to a corrupt regime that is so flipping corrupt, they don't know if it's 30 or 70% of this aid that reaches the end line. It's so corrupt that when it finally gets exposed, Zelensky has to oust certain members of his government who have been misappropriating millions of this aid. It's so corrupt, I'm fairly certain their leading export leading up to this, leading up to 2014, which is when this conflict pretty much seriously began, the leading export of Ukraine was human trafficking. That might be hyperbole, but you get what I'm trying to get at here. It's so corrupt. Ukraine is so corrupt. I mean, it's so corrupt. You used to have videos raging against the corruption, the far-right Nazification of Ukraine, right up until 2021, 2022, when Russia invaded the East. And then Ukraine became a sacred cow. Une vache sacrée, comme on dit en français. Hold on, I haven't finished reading his tweet yet. My apologies. Now I don't know where it is. That's great. Okay. Here, it's right here. I am so grateful to all Americans who continue to support Ukraine. They didn't have their choice. Hey, Zelensky, the majority of Americans don't support this crap. So what you should be thanking America for is stealing American taxpayer dollars that are needed in America. I'm paying taxes in America. I would love to know what percentage of the taxes I paid in America were directly whisked off to Ukraine. Forget the veterans who are committing suicide at record rates. Forget the homeless. Forget the overdose. The fentanyl crisis. Forget the open border. Forget Lahaina. Have they been rebuilt yet? Have they been made whole? Forget East Palestine. Forget Flint, Michigan. I'm so glad that the money that I'm paying to the government in America, whatever percentage, is just being plucked out of my back pocket and shipped to a foreign country. And in fairness, it wouldn't have been much better in Canada. To the historical significance of this bill extends beyond politics. You're damn right. It represents senators and congressmen, whatever the heck we are here, throwing their nation under the bus at the altar of globalism. I equally appreciate President Biden's support and look forward to the bill being signed soon and the next military aid package matching the resoluteness that I always see in our negotiations. Ukraine's long-range capabilities, artillery, and air defense are critical tools for restoring just peace sooner. Mm-hmm. Hey, Americans, he's thanking you for your money. This is from Al Jazeera. When was this from? January 2024. Ukraine says it uncovers 40 million arms corruption scheme. Oh, that's just what they uncovered. It was a one-off. That's the only time it's ever happened. Security Service of Ukraine says 5 charged over plot to embezzle funds earmarked to buy 100,000 mortar shells. Yep. Thank you for your money. It's going to go to good use. There was more to that thing here. Hold on 1 second. Was there more? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's funny. When you spend a lot of time on the internet, you see things. You don't put together dots, but you kind of put together dots because they're kind of connected. It's funny. I read a statement from Rep. Hakeem Jeffries last night. He's talking about how beautiful this bipartisan bill is. It's amazing, resoluteness. We're going to just go ship another $60 billion off to Ukraine because they need it more than Americans. Here, this was Hakeem Jeffries' statement from last night. I'll just get to to the good part. Congratulations to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, yada, yada. Pat ourselves on the back, jerk ourselves off here. Highly consequential legislation that supports democracy and freedom throughout the world by funding conflict. It's amazing. The House Republican majority irresponsibly delayed critical security assistance to our democratic allies in Ukraine, Israel, and the Indo-Pacific for months until a bipartisan coalition, yada, yada, yada. Then I saw something from what's his face here? You know, the total non-rhino, the total non-Democrat, Mitt Romney. My statement on the national security supplement. After months of needless delay. That sounded familiar. Oh, yeah. Irresponsible delay. Needless delay. When you got a bipartisan Mitt Romney spouting off Hakeem Jeffries' talking point, you might want to think that he is not only a rhino hack, but he might actually be a rabid, brain-dead Democrat with a capital D. So there was that connection that I put together. There was another one that I saw, which is equally glorious. Like it's almost satire. I watched it. I was like, oh, is this Tyler Fisher? Is this Tyler Fisher doing a bit? Here we go. Listen to this. I was going to start the show off with this, but no, instead I'm just going to go to it now. I was like, oh, that kind of looks like Tyler Fisher. Ty the Fish. If you don't follow him on Twitter, he's amazing. Stand-up comic. Glorious. What does this guy have to say?
Hey, good. It's good to see you.
Oh, this is totally organic, totally natural, totally authentic, not staged, not a setup whatsoever. This is how people do things. You got the camera rolling? Okay. You can hear me? You can hear me? Yes. Oh, good. Let's roll.
I just wanted to give you an update that I'm about to walk across the street from my office here in Washington
and give 60 billion of my constituents' tax dollars to a foreign country. Oh, no, that's not what he's going to say. Sorry.
And we're going to take the vote right now. We're voting right now for
right
aid for Ukraine.
Right now.
To give you the support you need. So we're going to get this passed out of the House of Representatives. We're going to send it to the Senate. The Senate will vote on it soon. We're behind you. We're rooting for you. We're going to give you the support that you guys all need right now to fight and win.
Thank you. So do you think it will be passed today?
I think it's going to be passed.
Y'all got any more of that taxpayer dollars? You think we're going to get that taxpayer dollars today? Because my corrupt regime, you know, I got some people here. They need to get paid. Do you understand? People don't even know what the money's funding. Business. Economy, government. You're funding a foreign government. Y'all got any of that? Yeah, because it's been a while since my last American taxpayer dollar paycheck.
Passed in the House of Representatives today. Yes, I think it's going to pass in like a half an hour. I think it's going to pass.
And what's the next step?
When do we get my money?
Then the next step is then it goes to the Senate, which is our other body in Congress, and the Senate will vote on it probably Monday or Tuesday. And I think it'll pass there too.
We're there.
Well, we believe in you. We're behind you. You're doing it.
By the way.
Well, we believe in you, which is our other body in Congress, and the Senate will vote on it probably Monday or Tuesday.
There's an edit.
And I think it'll pass there too. Well,
there was a hard edit. What did he say? I want to know what he said right there. This is where, like, if I were a real pain in the ass and I knew, I mean, I don't know if a FOIA request would get that. What happened? But what did they cut out of this video?
Probably Monday or Tuesday.
You can hear there's a bit of audio left over, which means whoever's on the other end, I think it's Zelensky, said something. Listen.
I think it'll pass there too. Well, we believe in you. We're behind you. You're doing an amazing job. Your bravery, your courage is just inspiring to all of us.
I can't even get the bullshit out of my mouth as I try to squeeze it out.
We're going to pass this bill. I talked to the administration. They're actually getting weapons and ammunition and equipment ready right now. In our stores and depots in Europe, so we can.
Are you going to Finland? Are you going to stock it up in Finland that just joined NATO so that you can use it? Use a new partner to NATO. Use them as a weapons stockpiling nation.
Urge it very quickly and get it to you.
Thank you.
Super. Thank you so much.
All right. Be well. Be safe. Slava Ukraini.
Slava Ukraini. Holy hell. First of all, he obviously doesn't understand the history of that term, the Nazi, not origin, but the Nazi adaptation during World War II. He obviously doesn't understand that. Maybe someone should remind him that he basically just said a Nazi chant. He's an American representative, a member of Congress or the Senate, whatever the hell. He's an American politician chanting glory to another country. Like, I've got a problem with dual citizenship in government. I know people don't have the necessarily share that same concern. I got a problem with this.
Really? Thank you, Justin Rowe.
Oh, hold on a second. There was another edit right there.
Really?
There was another edit right there. What happened there? What did he say that you didn't want to be in the video? And now he's getting another call.
We will. Thank you.
Yeah, Slavic.
We will.
Say it again. Say it again, Crow. So I let me just see who this individual is. I know him, but Rep Jason Crow. Let's go over here. Dad, Little League, yada, yada, yada. Whiskey enthusiast. Oh, he might have been drinking there. Colorado 6. Is he? I thought he was Democrat, but then people in the comments. You know, that's what a traitor in government looks like. This is, you want to talk about insurrection? It doesn't need to be done through violence, people. It doesn't need to be done with flagpoles and pepper spray as if you can do insurrection. It can be done politically. When you have representatives of one government proudly waving the flag of a foreign nation in their governmental buildings, you have a soft insurrection. That's actually kind of funny. Soft insurrection. Trademarked, it's mine. Nobody can use it. That's going on the shirt right after the show. You got a soft insurrection. When you got your own government saying glory to another country, you've got a soft insurrection. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. That video is open treason. I don't know if it's open treason because I don't think we're at war with the particular country that he's pledging allegiance to some extent. Viva, just saying thanks for choosing Florida. Keep up the good stuff. Love you. Well, okay, that's a good segue into the next segment because it's not going to be a long one, but it's going to be a funny one. Let me just give everybody the link. Share. Who gave a thumbs down on Rumble? I say, who the hell dares to do that? Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. We're 3,500-ish. We only have 237 thumbs up on Rumble. Here's the link for YouTube because we're going over to Rumble. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a typo in there. What I was just about to say, by the way, about Florida. Whatever. Let's see the number drop significantly. Then we're going to go over to Rumble. Then we're going to go over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. These guys, it's treacherous and it is treasonous, but we're not at war with the country that they're pledging their loyalty to. Yeah, like this is interesting. Slava kind of slave to Ukraine. The number's supposed to go down, not up, people. Come on, let's get out of here. It's at 12:04. Satisfy my OCD. Come to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Contemplate becoming a supporter if you want to support the work that Robert Barnes and I do. Or you could, oh yeah, that's right. That's what I wanted to do before we went over. Thank you. What about troops in Niger? I don't know enough about that, but I love your dog, by the way. That's an Australian Shepherd, beautiful looking dog. Don't know enough to have an opinion. And what I wanted to do before we went over was to read the Rumble rants over on the Rumbles because there's a 3. And we got this. Crash Bandit, my government is pissing on my head and telling me it's Ukraining, huh? Bada bing, bada boom, Crash Bandit. And those things there, the whale, I think it means that they're either members or subscribers. I forget how it works. How many freedom bucks to live stream you getting a perm for the awesome Viva Frei? Is a perm straight or frizzy? I washed my hair and brushed. I didn't wash it. I brushed it this morning and put on argan oil. So it's like looks greasy and shiny, but it's super smooth. There's truth and lies, disinformation, and myths. All right, good. And now we're under 1,100. So we're going to end on YouTube. Go over to the free speech platform Rumble. Stay tuned for big news coming from Rumble. And also, this is going to be the perfect segue. It involves Eric Adams. Come on over to Rumble.